Okie dokie. Welcome back to Black Clover Anime Review, episode number 74. Yep, this one reviewing the 125th episode of the anime Return, which is a filler episode. Yes, there's another one of these. Though next we're going to go back to canon. One episode and then go back to Martin filler episode. Yes. The new manga, chapter 242, Humans Little. Yep. This episode is simply put this. The Black Bulls and the Raging will go back to their hideout. Well, basically, the other part of it. And basically, they get there, and they need to figure out a way to put the thing back together so they can basically live there because, well, they pretty much have already saved the kingdom, so they got to basically figure out how to, well, basically, they got to restore their home. Yep. And we see Zora for the first time in quite a while. Yeah, this is the first time we see him in the actual series, first time in a few episodes. And he doesn't do anything. He just basically shows up for a few scenes, and that's all you see of him. Yep. In case you're wondering, here's the thing. There's one canon chapter he does play this arc after the start of this arc. The last time he appeared was actually, believe it or not, 3 episodes back, when he had the last canon episode. This is technically his first filler appearance. Now, the rest of the characters, not the first time they appear in the filler episode. In the case of Zora, first one for him, because he's appeared on canon episodes. They get to former hideout. They ask Henry to fix the place, and he doesn't remember what the thing looks like. Okay, fine. So, they will divide time in order to figure out what they need to do. So they look for Yami's beast, and well, then they split off the groups. Yami, of course, stays behind, and they split off into specific groups. We have Asa go with Noel and Nero. You have Goosh go with Gordon and Gray. Why not? Vanessa and Charmy and Fenrir go one group, and the last group is Magna and Luck. Yep, and they basically spent a lot of the episodes searching for these 3 particular beasts because Yami is worried they might go feral and they might attack a nearby village. Now, in the case of what these characters are up to, Asta, Noel, and Nero actually take the job seriously, though. In the case of Asta, this was quite hilarious. Basically, Yami gives him a straw hat and a butterfly net. And he's like, before they go out to magical beast, he's like, what are we going to do? Spend time catching bugs while basically him fixes the hideout? Oh yeah, and they do this right after everybody gives requests exactly what they want the hideout to look like. He gets it. They get it later, don't worry. So, that's what he's put things in his head and they go out looking for him. Yeah, they actually do. The Asik takes a key at one point because here's the thing, at one point they're not really finding anything, so they're just like, okay, I'm looking from above. So she transforms into her anti-bird form, and she goes up in the sky. And of course, Asta and Noel's like, I'm nervous I'm alone with Asta. Yeah, because she's got a thing for him. It's been known this has been known for quite a while. Probably she fell for him after he saved her for the first time from her own, probably when he saved her from her water tornado the first time she did it, back around the first arc of the series. That's probably when she felt. I think it was either that or when he stood up for her in front of her family. Yeah. So, of course, Asa gets the key and there's a bunch of anti-birds. Yep. Now, what are the characters up to? Well, Goosh, Gordon, and Gray do in fact do some searching. And they don't really find much of anything until they're attacked by the magical beasts. Well, as soon as they eat them up, of course, I will get to what's going to happen with them. We have Magna and Luck basically just getting bored, restless, so they decide they fight each other because they got powerful in the last arc, so they basically beat the crap out of each other for quite a while off screen, and then the magical beasts come and they start attacking them in a way. Oh yeah, and then they show them later they're covered with drool. Yep. And what's Vanessa, Charmy, and Fenrir up to? Fenrir, of course, is the transportation, while, of course, Vanessa gets basically a bunch of booze, and Charmy is basically eating, because that's her thing. And there was a joke about Yuno in this episode when she disappears. Like, oh, it's like, of course, she's drunk. Like, oh, is that you with the Golden Dawn, the pretty boy from Golden Dawn? Of course. any woman would also find, aside, now, Asta only handful would find him attractive, but I don't think anybody can deny, basically, any woman in the series find you, were basically pining for Yuno. Yeah. So, yeah, it turns out that they were all just looking at him, and eventually the magical beasts head back to this building, which is kind of like their temporary hideout until the actual hideout was rebuilt, and they basically bang on the door, and of course this is one of the Yami's usual things. A lot of the time when he's not seeing fighting, what is he doing? Going number 2. Yeah, that's not a joke. That's seriously what he does. He does it in a lot of episodes. Why in the world does he do this? Because there's no other guy to do. He's like the only guy in the series who's ever seen going to the bathroom a lot. Yeah. Now, why does he go to the bathroom a lot in the series? It's never explained. It's just his thing. And he always complains like with toilet paper, and basically he does not like when people disturb him when he's going number 2. Yep. Yeah, then of course he reunites the magical beast. And then Henry's like, yeah, I fixed the hideout. And basically it looks like a casino. And he's like, this is Manga's idea. And of course, well, Vanessa wanted basically a place where she could drink constantly. Right, a water fountain. And of course, Charmy has a rotating, uh, a rotating thing for food. Gray gets a hole in the floor where she can hide because she doesn't like being in public. She's embarrassed by it. Goosh basically gets his own shrine to Marie. Gordon basically apparently wanted everybody's room to be closer, and I was like, this reminds me of when I was growing up with Yuno and Nash. He doesn't have a problem with it at all. Everyone else does. Zora basically. Oh, by the way, what does Zora do in the episode? He basically spent the whole episode sleeping. He did jack frickin' squat this whole episode. Yeah, and of course, both him and Nero's like, we will pass. We pass on this. And of course, and of course, Yami's like, oh yeah, you get your own room. You get to share the cage with your beast. And he's like, no way. Put it back basically we have it, please. Oh, and they also reveal where Yami found these things. Apparently, he found them like on the way back. How he doesn't specifically remember when, because he had them for a long time. Yeah, so he just found them, and apparently their parents have been killed by some nobles having fun trying to kill magical beasts. So he took them back to hideout, and he kept them there. Yep, also, there's a recurring gag in the series when anytime Asa's around these three, they love to bite him. And nearly swallow him. Though they do it out of fun, but it's a recurring gag in the series, probably because he doesn't have any magic. And that could be the reason why. And it's something of like, everyone else gets licked, and yet he gets bitten. I think it's so hilarious. And then, like, once everything's back normal, when how it's supposed to be, and, well, then pretty much like, okay, since we got this place back together, let's get back to searching for evidences to basically for Asa's innocence. And then pretty much starting next week, we're going back to canon stuff, probably for one or two episodes. We see Return of Charlotte. Yeah, and this arc, I'm looking forward to this one. I mean, I love what they give it in the manga. I'm looking forward to. My nose has been itching today. Yeah, I'm looking forward to what they do in the actual episode itself. The episode overall was actually pretty good. It was pretty fun. And it felt pretty necessary to do. Because after all, the magical beasts are out there. Why not go looking for them? And it kind of basically solves a question, basically, I think a lot of people had. It's like, okay, when they showed the hideout, like, when in the world was this place rebuilt? At least the anime basically fixes that problem. So you can kind of say this is basically something that was an unanswered question for this particular arc. But yeah, got hands the episode. Really good. Now to check out the manga. First, you have this wonderful 2-page spread of the main 3 of the series. Noelle, Yuno, and Asta, basically in their special forms. Of course, you have Noelle in her Valkyrie armor, Yuno in his spirit dive, and of course Asta in his black Asta mode. Chapter begins right where last chapter left off, where basically the multiple Astas basically thanks to Goosh, are firing at the leader of the Dark Triad, who goes to his full demon mode and stops Asta. He's like, let's have a talk. And then basically he steps on Asta's shoulder, pinning him down to the ground. Like, it was the eye to eye. Like I was saying. So that could be the general people. No way we see eye to eye. I know what you're talking. If you call me evil, that's a compliment. Animals have mouths. That's the supreme emotion when he was developed. Yeah, he just chats up one long while, and I was like, but I've got a strong heart. I can control them. That's what do right. That's what humans be. You're rather strange to have a host. And he stomps him again. But lucky enough, he's actually able to be stopped by Rouge. Yep. You're not killing anybody in my group while I'm around. Good grief, you are my woman. That means you can't use it about anyone besides me. Of course, Vanessa's like mad at that because the only guy she wants is Yami, not this douchebag. Yep, Rogue. And we show off our belly again because well, it's a new outfit. He's expanding all my magic. Henry's basically trying to do what he can. And then we have Gray, Goosh, and Vanessa pinned to the side of the hideout. And of course, he takes time to chop out the Raging Bull's head. Okay, he's pinning him down so I can't move. And then he takes out his sword and does something really, really dumb. He stabs Goosh in the belly. Yeah, he stabs Goosh. Yeah, everybody's shocked about this. And Asta gets really angry. And becomes this. Yeah, a much more evolved form of his Black Asta mode. Yeah, which was kind of hinted at during the previous arc of the series that this particular form was there. But this is kind of almost like step 2 of Black Asta. And I know this has been spoiled all over the internet, but this is a shocking ending to this particular chapter. And I'm definitely looking forward to the next chapter that comes out. Now, my only question for this chapter is, why isn't Yami appearing yet? I mean, I know he's a captain. I'm sure he has probably heard rumors about this. I'm sure he probably thinks, something's going on in my hideout. I better go and check it out. Yeah, I'd say that the attempted murder of Goosh is quite shocking, and Asta going into his next form is quite shocking as well. Though I still don't like it that apparently the leader of Dark Triad is trying to claim Vanessa as his woman, despite the fact she already has a guy. His name is Yami. She wants him, not this guy. Yep. Give the chapter a 9.5, at least a 9.5 out of 10 because I better get the high ranking because otherwise the people would chastise me for not giving a high ranking to a shocking ending like this. An ending that's basically all over the air in Asa's new power that he had at the end of this chapter. And here's kind of the strange thing. When I did my review of the newest chapter of Boruto, apparently that got a ton of views. Yeah, more than I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting like a few. There was about 12 views, which is quite high for a manga chapter review I've ever had. I'm sure this one will probably get a good amount of views. I'm sure of it. Yep. Yeah. But so far, I've only had one episode of Boruto that actually had a high number of views. By far my highest viewed video. It was episode 15 from about a few years ago. That one had close to 900 views. I never expected that one video, an audio-only video, to basically skyrocket to be that freaking high. And as far as I can tell, none of my videos ever got close to that particularly that high. Yeah. Yeah, but not much else to say about this particular one of these two things. And I would have had time to do another. I was hoping to do any watch today, but I just don't have time to do it tonight. So I'll probably do the next part, probably next couple parts, probably tomorrow. Yeah, but until you see next video, bye.